Crazy.
There's so many roadblocks, and if you're not a determined person or you're not supported in any way, it can be very easy to give up. When I was interning before I got my first job, I worked at Little Steps, which is a nonprofit that supports teenage moms and teenage parents in general, but specifically the mothers. And I can't tell you how many times I'm like, okay, well, this is the process of getting assistance, and they go through the entire process, and then like one simple thing is enough to get them kicked out the program or bumped to the bottom of the list. There's a lot of tricks, so to speak, that people in DSS would know that a layperson citizen would not. And so there's a lot of people who fall through those cracks. There's a lot of mothers who fall through those cracks and they wind up homeless. Or they, like when I was, dealing with the White Horse Road, I think it is, where they have all those long stay hotels. A lot of them wind up living in those type of circumstances, and it's very unfortunate. And it shouldn't have to be that way. It feels like multiple levels of trauma to be poor and to be a parent without a support system. Because I'm really more speaking about those people, because there are some people that are lucky enough to have a support system, and these were not issues that they came across. But for a lot of the women, especially younger women who have children, and sometimes they have multiple children, and they have no idea how to get out of that. How do I go back to school? Who's going to watch my children? If I wanted to pursue, a better job opportunity. If a job opportunity is extremely competitive and they have very long hours and something happens with your child. In the state is specifically in Greenville, school lets out at 2:15.
Right.
No job lets out at 2:15. So something has to be done for the child. If you have an elementary school child, that child gets out of school at 2:15. And if there's no one to watch them or get them, you have to be the one to transport them to some kind of childcare, which is what I winded up doing, is leaving my job temporarily and going to get him and then taking him somewhere else and then going back to work. Every job doesn't like that. They don't like you not being available. I'm a big advocate for, corporations having on-site childcare. I think that that's something that, needs to be explored and talked about more, because I think that it's important that single parents, specifically parents in general, not be handicapped by the fact that they have small children, growing children. It's a part of life, and it should be able to be accommodated for. I mean, we have to keep fighting, and I know so many amazing women that are doing that fight. Representative Chandra Dillard, candidate Amanda McDougall Scott, and we sit around and we talk about these things all the time because, there is a real need for us to have a serious conversation and value women and value parents in a very substantial way in our governmental systems. That is just not happening at the moment. People are kind of satisfied with us being statistics and not really giving, workable solutions. And then, like you said, when we get a workable solution, it kind of dies, before we ever get, to see it come to fruition. And so we have to just keep creating opportunities for people's voices to be heard and for them to know that, there are several, like, especially in the African American community, single parents, female-led households is a great percentage of those that are providing in our communities. So these are working people. These are people that are parts of your community that need to have, a voice as well. So I think that the solution is to vote a lot of them out of office. But for those that we don't vote out of office, just holding their feet to the fire about the fact that we need to make these changes and they need to be real and sustainable. So those are my big asks, is that we, hold people accountable if we can't vote them out.